So, how's everybody? I'm good. I'm good. So, let's talk about Globus today. What'd you guys think? Yeah? It's a lot of clicking. It certainly is.
You get lost in that real fast.
Yep. Let me try and bring some clarity to it for you.
Started playing around with clickers and going, okay, watching the number change things, then change the next thing and see how everything
Um,
goes. It's a little crazy.
Sometimes you can get off into a rabbit hole with watching the numbers too
I was
much.
doing yesterday. After about an hour, I went, oops, I need to do something else.
Yeah, I understand. So, first of all, I should say that the game is going to reset at 11:59 tonight. So, if you want to print out um, if you want to print out the decisions that you put in this time so you can compare them to what you're doing next time, you'll want to do that um, before the end of the day today. Um, in general, once we start the game, you can always go back and look at what decisions were earlier. But this week, you can't see them anymore after tonight. So if you want to sort of learn from what you did in the practice round, make sure to print it out before the end of the game or before the end of the day today. So go ahead. Um, I'll divide it in thirds, basically. So the first four spots are an A, the second four spots are a B, and the last four spots are a C. But again, that's just for that 50 points. So the difference is a C is 37.5 points and an A is 50, or a little bit less than 50, depending on whether you get 100 here or not.
So if you do the end of the day, you're
Yes.
but even though you're below the fourth.
If you get if your number here is higher than what it would be with the curve, then I'll give you the higher number. Make sense? Okay. So it's a pretty big spread of results for everybody here. Um, I am going to start with the last place group, Group C, and just move up from there and look at what the decisions were and give some tips on what could have been different or better. Okay. So where's Group C? Okay, you guys.
Did you get my email
Huh?
this morning?
No, I didn't. I didn't look this morning yet.
Okay, I messed up my whole group's thing like right before the deadline.
What happened?
I was just like, I didn't know it was 12. I thought it was 11, and I was like backspacing, and I was trying some new numbers, and like as soon as I deleted a bunch, it
Aha.
was like,
Game is complete.
yeah, game is complete, and logged me out, and I felt so bad. I sent them an apology text and an email. So.
Oh, that's okay. Well, let's look at what ended up causing last. I mean, sometimes even if you do make a mistake like that, the decisions weren't that bad. So
Okay.
let's start by looking at what could have been better. Or actually, It looks like you guys have already gone in and edited the numbers, huh?
Oh, after that, I was on there till like 3 in the morning, just messing around with it.
Well, things look pretty good now.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, just from the projections here for your revenues, earnings per share, and credit rating. But let's look at the actual decision entries and see. Wow, really slow today. So you've got a 2.5-star quality camera for entry level and a 3.5-star quality camera for multi-feature. That's always where I start, is by taking a look at that versus the competition. So if we come down to the competitive intelligence report and compare, you're basically competing with Group A and Group H and Group L for the same quality of camera at entry level. So you are at $200 price point. They're at 160, 159, 160, 160. So your price is significantly higher than the marketplace right now. I would lower it a bit. So first of all, let's go in and change that. Maybe go down to 170. And then,
So when you're changing those, what are you watching to see happen?
well,
Because like the things I was watching were like the earnings per share and things like that to try to bump that
Uh-huh.
up with whatever changes I was making. Is that
yeah, that's what you want to do, but you don't want to look like, as soon as I change the price here without changing the quantity produced, it's going to bring down the earnings per share
okay.
because I'm bringing in less revenue
Right.
for the same amount of products produced.
Okay.
But the demand is going to go up, so I'm allowed to produce more. So
Okay.
you don't really want to look at this until you've made all of the changes from the top down to the bottom,
Okay.
and then see whether it's better or not.
Gotcha.
So you got to kind of go through the whole process and then see whether it's better.
Okay.
So that's that. Now we want to check on the rest of the marketing variables. Well, first of all, let's look at pricing for multi-featured. So you guys are 3.5 stars, so you're basically competing with Group B. Group B has $1,000 price to retailers, and you have $500. Both of those are way above the industry, so I think you're fine in that regard. You may even want to cut price just slightly because there's a $399 3-star camera, so you're over $100 higher than the next lowest, basically. So I'm going to bring that down to maybe $450 for now. Oh, you went up even. And I know the earnings per share are going down right now, but we need to wait until we've changed the rest of the variables to see whether it's actually better or not. So Next, we want to look at how our advertising compares to the other entry-level cameras. I would set pricing and promotions for multi-featured to compete with multi-featured, but I would set your advertising and tech support based on entry level. So your entry level competition is what you want to look at for your tech support and advertising. And then for pricing and promotions, you can do those separately for each marketplace. So looking at tech support for 2.5-star cameras, 130, 270, 190, and 190. And you guys are at 100, so I would bump it up a little bit. 190, 190, 130, maybe, and 270. So I'd go up to 190 as well on tech support. Okay, you're at 200. Already, you already changed it to a new number, so I like where you changed it to. Advertising. A is at 900. You're at 250. E is at 900. H is at 700. Bless you. And L is at 650. So you're a little low on advertising spending. I would bring it up to more like 800 to be in the ballpark of where the other competitors are. So we'll put 800 here. Now we want to look at promotions and warranties for both entry level and multi-featured. So we'll go back to the quarterly snapshot again and take a look at promotions for entry level. So 1 week, 10%, 90 days. 1 week, 10%, 90 days. 1 week, 10%, 1 year. And 1 week, 10%, 90 days. So 2 weeks, 15%. That looks pretty good. You're higher than the rest of the industry, but you're actually offering a little bit higher price. So offering higher promotions is probably good too. So I would leave that the way it is. You've got a 1-year warranty versus 90-day warranties for many of the other competitors, but there's a 1-year warranty here. I'd leave it the way it is for now. And then for multi-featured, you're competing with Group B basically. So they're doing a 4-week promotion for 10% and a 3-year warranty at that high price. You're a 1-year warranty, 1 week at 8%, and 1 week 10%, 90 days is the 3-star camera. So I'd offer a little bit more promotion on multi-featured. So let's go back there. And I'd increase this to maybe try 2 for 1 week at 10%. Oops. Okay, so that's brought down our numbers a bunch, but we have to increase our assembly to match orders. And that's going to make the numbers get better. So we could, if we wanted to, go in and actually add 10% onto these. I'm just going to make it simple and match assembly to orders right now. Compensation and labor, you're a little bit below the industry average on your compensation. So I would actually increase your fringe benefits. To more like 1,000. And then I think your training is good there. I usually recommend putting 1,000 into training for the first several years of the game. You've got 35 more workers than you need though for your production schedule, so or 30 more. So I would actually lay off some workers here, hire some more in quarter 2, hire more in quarter 3, but then lay off those workers again in quarter 4. Bless you. And then we'll go ahead and adjust these overtime numbers. And then finally, corporate citizenship. Your image rating is up and good, so I wouldn't worry about corporate citizenship decisions right now. Just keep it the way it is. And for finance and cash flow, you're actually issuing a bunch of shares that you may not need to. So let's take that back to 0. That brings you to a B+ credit rating. So maybe issue 500 instead of 2,000. The more shares you issue, the more shares you issue, the lower the earnings per share is going to be because you got more shares outstanding. So you want to issue as little shares as possible. And you're paying down a lot of debt, but you're not really paying out very much dividends. So I would actually pay down a little less debt and issue some dividends instead. That's getting your return on equity up a little bit. And 0.09. Oops. That brought us down a little too far. So those are some of the changes I would make. I think you might have been doing a little bit better before my changes. So I may have brought down the price a little bit too much on entry level. No, nope, that's making it lower. Those are some of the changes I would make. You can continue playing. I actually have your price a little bit higher than the marketplace right now, so you might bring it even down a little bit more in entry level. Play around with the promotions a bit more. Those are the changes that I would suggest. Do you want me to save these, or do you want me to delete and let you guys? Well, actually, it won't matter because it's going to delete the game at the end of the day today. So those are some of the things I would do for you guys. Make sense? Okay, Group G. Where's Group G? You guys are the next lowest, so let's take a look at that one next. And for the teams in here that did better, I'm probably not going to get to you by the end of the day. We can continue. What I'm going to do for Friday's class session, I am available to talk about Globus on Friday. I don't have a lecture planned, so if you want to talk about Globus, come in. I'll be here available to talk with each of the groups about your Globus entries. If you don't want to talk about Globus, take Friday off. How does that sound? Okay. So I'm only going to get to probably the bottom 3 or 4 teams today, and then we'll run out of time. So anybody else that wanted to talk about Globus, feel free to come in on Friday. We can talk about your decision entries, okay? Okay, so Group G. Before I forget, yes.
So it's going to restart tonight. When, so we're going to redo year 6.
Yep.
And that's going to be due
By the end of the weekend. Got it?
Sunday at 11.
Yes, Sunday at 11:59. Okay, so for Group G, hang on here. Let me write down where you were so that we can check and see whether the changes make it better or not. I always forget to do that. So earnings per share right now is 118. Return on equity is 13.9. Credit rating is C+. And image rating is 58. So, okay, let's see if we can do better than that. So, first of all, you've got a 2-star camera in entry level and a 2.5-star camera in multi-featured. So that's the competitive landscape that we want to look at. So, competitive intelligence reports, 2-star cameras. So D, F, and I are the competitors we're looking at. So D is a price of 150, F is a price of 150, you're a price of 165, and I is a price of 160. So looks like you might be a bit high on your price. So first of all, let's go in and bring price down to more like 155 instead of 165. And then we'll look at prices for multi-featured. You are at 2.5 stars, so you're competing with H, K, and L. So K is 370 price, 370, 370. You're at 400. So it looks like you're a bit high for the pricing in multi-featured. I'd bring that back down to 370 to be in line with the other groups.
Do you have a recommendation on where the PQ rating should be? Or does that just kind of put you in the class of, a different class from the other groups to determine where you're
In general, you want to be in a PQ, like there is no right answer for PQ rating, but you want to be someplace where the other competitors are not.
Okay.
So if everybody's at 2.5 stars, you might try going down to 2 or going up to 3 to try and find your own space.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
But there's no right or wrong answer just per se. Oops, not 3,700, 370. Okay, so we've adjusted the pricing a little bit. What next? So now we want to look at promotions and warranty for both multi-featured and entry level. So promotions for entry level, 2-star cameras, 3 for 3 weeks at 18%, 3 for 3 weeks at 18%, 1 for 1 week at 10%, and 1 for 1 week at 18%. So I would move up to more promotions. I'd go 3 for 3 weeks at 18% like the other two did. So maybe 3 for 3 weeks at 15%. And then we'll look at the same thing for multi-featured. Multi-featured, we're competing with these here. So one for 1 week at 10%, one for 1 week 10%, one for 1 week 10%, and you guys are one for 1 week. So that looks pretty good there. 6-month warranty, 90-day, 6-month. Okay, sorry, 6-month, 1 year, 90-day, 90-day. You think you're pretty good right now on warranty. I'd leave that where it is for multi-feature. How about entry level? So entry level is 2 years, 1 year, 90 days, and you're at 6 months. I'd move your warranty for entry level up to a year. So let's move that up to 1 year. And now we need to look at tech support and advertising. So we're going to compare those to the entry level segment. So entry level, 2 stars, 400 for tech support, 400, 250. So you're at 125. I'd actually increase your tech support up to maybe 350. So go back to there, 350. And eventually you can do different decisions for different geographic marketplaces based on the interest rate and based on your market share in those industries. I'd stick with consistency for the first couple rounds of the game. It makes your decisions a little bit easier. And then finally, we want to look at advertising in multi-feature. No, sorry, advertising compared to entry level. So 650 for Group D, 900 for Group F, and 900 for Group I. You're at 400, so your advertising spending is a little low. I'd bring your advertising spending up to more like 750. So now that we've made all those edits, the numbers look worse, but that's only because we haven't taken advantage of the new demand. You're at 28, but now the demand is 59, for example, in North America. So once we edit these numbers and do the same thing for multi-featured, the numbers look a lot better. So you were at 118. We're now at 169. We were at 13. Now we're at 18.9. Your credit rating is a little bit worse. Your image rating, hey, check it out. Your image rating's gone up a lot to 80 instead of 58. So we need to do some edits to your finances to get the credit rating up, but the other numbers look better. So compensation and labor, yes.
So at what point would you adjust the quality of the camera? Because I noticed like in the entry-level market, there's only 3 cameras that are below 2, and everybody else is within 2 and 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like recommend for one of them to go up to 3 or 3.5? And
Yeah.
see, that way you're pulling them into a different marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then how do you adjust the numbers from there? Like if this one wanted to do that.
So if this group wanted to go up to the highest place or down to the lowest place, basically, then you want to make sure that your numbers are lower than the lowest or higher than the highest.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so compensation and labor, you're a little bit below the industry average. So I would actually add a little bit to your salaries. There you go. Now you're at the industry average. And you're going to need a few more workers to achieve your production. So go ahead and hire 17 there, 5 there. 122 here. Oops. 115 is the most they'll let us do. Oh, 70. Wow. I wonder. Let's hire more here. See how many we're allowed to hire. Maybe 25. 25. It's not going to make any difference. It's just going to bring us down to a lower number there. What's that? The overtime number here? I usually just set this number to whatever it says here on the right.
You mean if you want in quarter 3 to increase the productivity and the units, because you want more units, right?
Yeah, the only way you can produce more units in quarter 3 is to hire more laborers. The amount of overtime you're allowed to offer is fixed by the game. So we can't hire 122. I think 73 is the most it's going to let us hire, but let's hire as many as we can and then lay them off again. Oh, we don't want to lay everybody off. So 122 is what we need. 195 is what we have. So 80, 70. Oh, I guess that is right. 73. So then I would edit all these numbers to be the same as what's on the right-hand side. And then corporate citizenship, your image rating looks great, so I'd leave that right the way it is. Finance and cash flow. Here's the problem. We need to get your credit rating. Oh, look, credit rating's up to a B now after we did some changes to the employees. So change these numbers again. So we've managed to get them up to 80. B, 23.2% on return on equity. That's great. And $2.20 on earnings per share, which is just a little bit below what the investor expectation is. That's really looking good. So, it's a 6 of one, half dozen of the other. In order to pay down your loans, well, here, first of all, let's reduce your dividend payout a bit. Oh, there we go. We got things up to a B plus instead of a B. If you wanted to get up to an A or an A minus or whatever, A plus, you could issue more shares, but issuing more shares is going to bring your return on equity and earnings per share numbers down. So I'm hesitant to offer shares unless I absolutely have to. So I would actually leave that the way it is. But numbers look pretty good here now. You're up to B plus credit rating. That's what the investors expect. The only thing that's a bit low is your earnings per share, but otherwise you're looking really good. So those are the edits I would make for you guys. And I'm not going to bother to save it, like I said, since it's all going to be deleted tonight. But those are the edits I'd make for you guys. I think I got time for one more. And then, like I said, on Friday, if I didn't get to your group, or I did get to your group and you just want more advice anyway, come on Friday, and Friday will be like advice day for Globus. If you're good on Globus, then you got the day off on Friday. Okay? Okay. Yes?
For the analysis paper, we have to track all the changes that we are making for the program.
Well, not all the, it's only a one-page paper. So I just want you to, I want you to be able to explain to me what are some of the impacts that the decisions had. So, you know, you raised your prices and you found that actually lowered demand. Things like that. Does that make sense? Okay. So Group E. Who's Group E? Okay. I can go over yours too, and then I think we're gonna run out of time. So oh look, you've edited your numbers already. Yeah. So yours are looking really good now. So 3 stars in both entry level and multi-featured. So you're actually the only 3-star camera company right now. You're offering a $150 price. You might be able to offer a higher price and make even more money. I'm not sure. So the highest price in here right now is $200, which was too high.
You raise the price, the demand will go down.
The demand does go down if you raise the price, but oh look, you're 150, 159, 169, 179. So you're not at 150 in all 4 markets. Yeah, if you raise the price, demand goes down, but you make more profit per camera. So it's a balancing act to trying to decide how much to raise the price or how little to raise the price. Make sense?
Yeah. I tried, but it's doesn't. So that it's an economy of scale. As long as you sell more, you're okay with price.
Yes, as long as it depends on how much more you're selling, you know. But yes, you're right. So your guys' numbers look really good now. I actually wouldn't edit much of anything here except maybe editing these retailers to max out your online retailers in Asia and Latin America. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So make note of what you did and do it again for the next round. So it's about quarter till, but I don't think I have time to go through another group's decisions. So let's call it a day. And if you'd like me to give you advice on Globus, come Friday. Okay. Otherwise, have a good weekend. The next round of decisions are due by the end of the weekend, so 11:59 on Sunday night. Yes.
Yeah, that's the goodest one. So I'm just trying to go. You guys want to meet on Friday, or you guys want to meet on another day tomorrow? You guys want to come to class Friday? Yeah, class tomorrow.
No, I'm working on something. What do we need to meet up about that?
Just what changes we want to make.
Honestly, on the collaboration mode on the deal, you can chat and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think we need to meet in person.
Well, we're gonna be in class all day tomorrow, so we can just meet in the library. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we're all on one, sometimes we can just use collaboration because it's got that chat.
But how? Oh, is it?
Yeah, down. He doesn't have it.
See, like I don't know
Down on the bottom, how do you see the chat window and you can turn it on?
how easy do you think it'd be? Would it be complicated to do a collaboration? Just because like we
No, because actually you can even turn it on and use microphones. So you can just do that. Can you?
I'm gonna hear.
Can you open up one of the applets real quick so that we can see the chat window?
What's that?
Can you open up one of the companies so we can see the chat window? Real quick?
Yeah. Hey, hang on 1 second. Sanjeev.
What time?
I'm Anik. Yeah, they're what's that? Yeah, I thought something. John's in their group, and I wanted to introduce him to John. No, we're scrapping. Normally we sit here, man. So, I wanted to
watch
show
one
you
of
guys.
the little, when you first sign up, it's got like a couple of little entries. And one of them was showing about collaboration.
What time are you guys? I could from 1 to 5. Then we can also do it in class.
Okay, go into the decision screen. No, the blue button. Oh, yeah.
So like what we should do is like, what's the structure of like, we want to build up our amount of cameras we need, right? Because you can like,
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what you're doing.
So, what I was saying was, I can either
Because, like, how it went down together and stuff. We're actually in, like, the crappy ourselves. We can make extended decisions if we want to. Right, yeah, down at the bottom left there.
Yeah, so like if I went on.
You're actually not in collaboration.
Oh, when I.
No, the little, in that box, the top right, that button right there changes it to collaboration.
I think that
So then as you pull in, everybody will log in. And you can use that as a chat window, or you can talk to each other, and the button right next to it will actually turn on the microphone on the computer, so we can actually even voice chat. And then you just have to allow it through Flash.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what day? I can come Friday.
Yeah, I'm available pretty much all day.
So, I will like you guys help you guys email me by Friday or come to class.
You guys don't want to
If
come
I
to
could
class?
save
No,
that.
it's not up. Okay, I will leave it.
Yeah, I'm just across that, so if we're not gonna.
Yeah, but you can always.
We could just use the time.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hi, Ali. I'm good. How are you?
We could just, well, we could all just get on and collaborate.
Yeah, we can do it tonight.
What
Oh,
should
wait, no,
we?
it resets tonight. Yeah, it resets.
Yeah, so we don't want to go.
No, I haven't.
What do you want to do?
I'll be in my office.
Or Saturday.
I don't know, so everybody's shooting for like 2 stars.
Yeah.
2.5.
You haven't been to class yet?
Either like 1 or 3 hours.
You're still in the class?
Kind of
Okay, so I need to assign you to a group here. Hang on.
everybody's
Should we do like 1 to 4?
the entry level.
Should be 1. The multi should be like 4.
Oh.
Yeah, stop this.